So if they take it all away from us and we don't have it no more, and they're taking our children and brainwashing them to corrupt them and put them in their rituals or whatever they're doing to them so they be good little slaves, and that's how I put it, it's because what they're doing. Because the children are losing their family norms. They're losing their cultures. They're losing their family values and their morals and everything else because they're placing them in families that just don't care. These people are not going to care for our children. We are the only ones that are going to care for our children. And this can happen to every single person. It doesn't matter how much money you make. It's all about taking children from people that believe in God. So you believe in God. You don't have no money. You work hard every day. You support your family. They're going to come in because you don't got no savings. They're going to take your children. They're going to take them away from you. And they're going to say, ha, I got your kid, and you're not going to get it back. And their best tactic ways of doing it is they wait for you to get pregnant. They go to the hospital when you give birth, and whoever puts an order, which person that's in their little cult, puts an order in for a blonde-haired, blue-eyed child or a brown-haired child or whatever, and that child is born, boy or girl, they go after them at the hospital, and they get you for neglect. And they steal your children right out of the hospital without no warrants, without anything, and they'll claim that you neglected your child in the hospital when that's impossible. You just gave birth to this child. You're a new mom. How could you have neglected your child when they're supposed to take care of your child while you're healing and be recovered? Because we're teaching you this. But they're stealing your children right from the hospital, and they terminate your parental rights because they say you abandoned your child. And that's what they're doing. It's medical kidnapping all the way. And then they ship their children out to New Zealand or in other countries, and they're making profit off our children like they're cattle. That's what they're doing. So as long as people sit there with a blind eye, it's all, it ain't going to happen to me. And why you stick a my nose in it? Just keep my nose out because I don't want them coming after my kids. But you got to worry about your kids' kids. You got to worry about your grandkids. You got to worry about your great-grandkids. And if you don't do something now, we're the last generation that can do anything. We're the only generation left that's smart enough to be able to handle something like this because they've dumbed the society down so much in schools, and the education just isn't there. So these kids are just dumb. And it's not an insult. They just don't know. And if they don't know their rights. They don't know the laws. They don't know where to look. They're being socialized to be downsized so they can be controlled. And as long as they're controlled, our future is gone. If we don't do something, and I mean something, and something fast, we don't have a future. Everything that we know is gone. Everything that we believe in is gone. Family morals, values, everything that was good is gone. We'll be in chaos, war, poverty, famine, disease. We'll be struggling, killing each other just to survive. And that's not the kind of life I want my children to live. It's not the kind of life I want to live. It's not the kind of life I want my future generations to live. It's just a matter of people waking up and listening and starting to stand up and stand together under one unit, one unity. We are the people. We are global. We are the worldwide people. Can do something because this is ours. We pay for it. They tax us. Those are our dollars they're using to do whatever they're doing. It's us. We control it. It's just a matter of taking back our control. That's all I got to say about it.
That's well said, Rosemary. Very well said. And we are actually doing God's work. We will be protected. Yes. We will be protected. They will not actually be able to put hands on us. If you
I think, sorry.
Through people.
I was going to say that the children must be returned to their parents. That's the first thing. Then secondly, the prisoners, the whistleblowers, all the good people that have been sidestepped by the Satanists, they need to come out. And we just want a few Satanists at the top who are the ringleaders. We just want the ringleaders. So we can assure the majority of the public servants that we're not interested in them, but we are interested in the names of the people who've been steering them. So we need to make some announcements, I think, with the proclamation of independence. And I think Kevin and Patrick may be able to work something out with whatever that the technical thing is with the UK laws and the Canadian laws and the other international laws, whatever tweaking they need to do to get us, away from the Vatican and the Crown estate and the the Crown, the Vatican, the state, and the Church. All the Satanists are going to be then set aside, and then we can start rebuilding with the majority of working with the public servants who are honourable towards the people. And the children have got to be returned to the parents as the first priority, and they've got to be rehabilitated. They're not going to be able to go to school for a few months while they're settling in back with their parents. And the same goes for their prisoners. They're going to need some rehabilitation, from the deprivation of light, sunlight, and they've been persecuted for doing good. Most people in mental health institutions, they're a priority as well. They've got to come off their medication in a controlled way, so that they can get back to getting back to their natural body rhythms, and then integrate them into some kind of their hobbies and give them, choices about what they do with their lives thereafter. And we've got a lot of healing to do on the planet, but hopefully once we've made these proclamations of our independence and our sovereignty and these common laws, and worked it out with the wherever various laws, the ancient laws, the divine laws, these common laws, and these Magna Cartas and the rights and constitutions. I mean, there isn't any difference in them. It's free will and non-interference. That those are the divine laws, and the Ho'oponopono is the love, compassion, forgiveness, and gratitude. That everything is okay as long as the intention is good. It may appear bad, but the intention is good, then it's okay. So we can work things out. We can arbitrate. We can mitigate. We're loving creatures. We love to create things, so we can create once our basic comforts are fulfilled. And so we really haven't got a problem with the majority of the public servants. It's just a few.
That's quite right. And they've infiltrated every structure, including religion and government and countries, and every cog, every important decision is made by these people in every organisation that exists, every corporation. It's a revolving doors, between these people come and go out of these different corporations, out of corporations and into religion now, as the current Archbishop of Canterbury is a clear example of. I mean, so yeah, we've got to root these people out, and I believe we will. In fact, I know we will, and that's it. We got plenty of work to do. Rosemary.
Yes.
What's your thoughts?
Well, I believe that we all need to be on the same playing field. They're corporations. I think that we should be a corporation too. But a corporation is strictly about God, and it's God's mission to restore balance, make resources for the people, because they're going to try taking our resources away. And that's the most important thing, is protecting the people. We have to be the same level. Individuals, we're not. But we got to be the same level as they are. And
well, I'd say we're higher level than any corporation, any fictional thing that these cities. I mean, these Satanists have devised this corporate entity that spans the whole globe, and I don't think we have to meet them at a level. I believe that we're already higher than them. I mean, these things, they don't exist in the real world. They are merely bits of paper given the power by the people who work within the entity. I mean, a corporation has been allocated the same rights as a person. I mean, that's when it all started, this amalgamation between corporates and governments and structures. They become unrecognizable between each other. They're the same thing now. I think, Rosemary, we're even high. We are. Our authority comes from within. It's sacred, and there ain't no corporation higher than it.
I agree with you, Darren.
We have to be on more of a divine level. We have to follow by
Absolutely.
God's laws. And God's laws need to be restored, and that's just the way it is. It's natural law, and that natural law has to be put back in place. That it's too unbalanced. Everything is just too unbalanced.
We do need to dissolve the corporations, and the only process that can dissolve them is the commercial lien process, and that is the notice of dishonor in the commercial lien under the Uniform Commercial Code. So we do at some point need to, this country was bankrupted in 1930 at the League of Nations, Geneva Convention. So we do have to, they're pretending that they weren't, and they should be under a gold standard, and they're not. So we have to remind them of that, because it's all connected with the economy, because it's like printing paper money. Because when you bring the gold standard back, you stop the usury to charging of interest, and then everything gets recycling energy, a fixed amount of energy. Because at the moment, with the paper money, what they've done is they've created sweat money. That paper money is our sweat money. There's a lot getting bigger and bigger, and our sweat's getting bigger and bigger, and yet our children have been enslaved. So in order to turn that off, we've got to bring in the gold standard.
Well, I would say that this fractional reserve system, which means that they can leverage 10 to 1 for each pound a bank has, it can lend out a fictitious 10, a fiat currency backed by nothing. Then you take the paper derivative market in Wall Street and the FTSE and whatnot, and these paper contracts are leveraged 1,001. Now, over time, as you quite rightly stated, Nilo, the nation has been bankrupt many times. Now, with this fractional reserve banking Ponzi scheme, leverage 10 to 1, there's not enough assets on the planet to cover the digits on the screen. So, they've had to steal everything to try and balance the books. Now, the books are unbalanceable. The debt is fraud. It doesn't exist. It's not tangible. I mean, we touched on this in the first half, Patrick and I. But through quantitative easing, they printed more money in the last 2 years than the previous 200. But my point is this. I very much sway to the side of Bill Still's CV. He's a macroeconomist, fantastic researcher. I urge anyone who was not familiar with Bill Still's work to get familiar with it, because he certainly breaks it down in a comprehensive and detailed way. And basically, he shows how the struggle between private bankers printing their money and the people printing theirs has swayed back and forth over centuries. Quite fascinating research, actually. But the point is this, I mean, these money men, these private banksters, they got the gold, so they could easily flip it back to the gold standard and still be in control. However, other mechanisms of currency, which is different to money, by the way, money and currency are two different things. What Nico was talking about is genuine money, which is gold and silver, tangible asset, which you can feel, which you can use, which you can see, you know. What we've got today is a fiat currency. It's rubbish. It's a piece of paper. It's monopoly money. It's merely a thing in the game to keep the game going, you know. And they're desperately trying to reset it all. And again, we touched this in the first hour, but it's important to bring it up again. In order to reset it in time gone by, they've had to crash it by using a war, which generates more debt, and the game continues. Now, this time round is completely different, because the people are on to it. Now, I absolutely agree with you 100% that the money or the currency that's used within the new economy, which will have to be built when this one crashes, and the evil entities within it are routed out, then we will need some kind of medium to interact in commerce. Now, it doesn't have to necessarily be backed by gold and silver. An example of that in times gone by is the Bradbury pound all the way to the tally stick. But the important thing is that the thing we use to trade with, what currency we use, it should be a public utility. It should be there to serve the people. It should be interest-free, and that's the way it should be. Whereas the one we've got now does not serve the people. It's actually a debt instrument. What do you think, guys?
Well, it's certainly not there to serve the people anyway.
You know, I've always thought, you know, God's plan, you know, to make us the way He made us, each one of us are born with a skill. You know, some of us are born to, you know, do the land. Some of us were born to raise cattle, and some of us were born to be lawyers, and some of us were born to be speakers, and some of us were born to be ministers, and some of us were born to do all kinds of things. We all have skill, whether it be teaching or something like that. And that should be our currency, because everything we're supposed to do is in trade, because we need one another. We need each other. It's all about helping another person. Love thy neighbor. Love thy neighbor is the ultimate goal. Love thy neighbor is the ultimate rule. And if you love your neighbor and you're helping each other, one way or the other, we help each other to eat. We help each other with tasks. We help each other to prosper. We help each other to do things. None of us are without them, because each of us are born with a talent. Each one of us are born with something. We all have something to offer. That's worth more than money can buy.
I just wondered if you've come across the term CVAC. It's like a creative value asset center. It's that you give value to people's talents and the energy that they carry, and each person is 100% of a CVAC. I don't know if you come across that term.
What was the question again?
Sorry. I said I wondered if you come across the term CVAC, CVAC, which is Creative Value Asset Center, is that each person comes with their own energy and their own talents, which is similar to what you're saying.
Well, I haven't come across that, but it's just something that I know. You know, everybody has their own integrity. Everybody has their own value. And your worth is what you're born with. You know, you're as valuable as you put yourself out there to be. I mean, to me, to be rich is not to be rich with money, because money is just paper. To be rich is be rich in the things you do and your family and the things that you accomplish. And the more you accomplish, the more you're rich. And that right there is your value. That's what you're worth. That's how much you're worth. How can you be in debt if you have all that to offer? There isn't a single person on this planet that's born with nothing.
Yeah, I like the word creative, because each person is a creator, and what they've done is they've destroyed our creativity, and and created the enslavement. So in order for us to get rid of this illusion of enslavement, we've got to start creating again with our dreams and our visions and make them reality.
Exactly.
Well, the Satanists now in power, they actually broke up all the family, as Darren and I covered earlier. They broke up the families, they broke up the communities, and unless we can build the family and the communities again, start working together, everyone help one another. These Satanists have you snooping on your neighbor, and this is what it was all about.
Now, technically, I suppose that once we've declared and proclaimed independence from the Crown, Vatican, Church, and State, we can then take our children back to their wherever they can be loved and be normal and be happy with their parents or their choice of where they want to be. I mean, Rosemary, what would you say? Once we're independent from the state, then those children then automatically become released to their biological family.
Well, actually, I've got to tell you. Sorry, Rosemary.
I believe in family.
Absolutely. Rosemary's son was stolen when she was a very young mother, but she was blessed, and she actually was reunited, and he is now living with you, Rosemary. Is that not correct?
Yeah. Yes, he lives with me now. Took him 17 years to get home, but he came home.
17 years she had to wait as a mother with a broken heart, but eventually that day came. So I had to get that in me, because what you were talking about was so significant to what has actually happened to Rosemary, that I have to let the listeners know that she was reunited with her son. It took her 17 years. This woman would not and will not be stopped. As with Patrick will not be stopped, Neil will not be stopped, I will not be stopped, Andy shall not be stopped. Every single person who I'm close to will not be stopped.
And there's another guy down there, a friend of mine down there in Wales, David Morgan. He was a founding member of Stand Your Ground. Do you know David Morgan at all?
No, I don't, Patrick, but I'd love to. I'd love it if you could hook us up with him.
I will do. No, he's a good guy. He's been around a long time. He actually had his home as well robbed off of him, but he's doing very well, and I will hook you up with him.
Wonderful.
I've actually emailed him about the program tonight, so if he's listening, hello, David.
Yes, warm greetings, David, and if you can spare us your time and your experience here, we would very much appreciate it, and I'm sure from what Patrick has said, it will be a vital help to us, sir.
Vital help. He's a good guy, and he's a good worker.
Well, yeah, that's what we need, because it's time to bite down on our gum shield and get it done.
Yep. He's not afraid. He will take him on, and that's what it's all about. Lose your fear and get out and do it, and you'll get the support of the people. You know what I mean? We've got to swell the army. We've got to grow the army, and the people have got to support the people that are actually doing the work. If you can't send letters, you can distribute leaflets, and it's as simple as that. Because the people have got to be educated. Their eyes have got to be open to what's actually going on. There's an awful lot of them out there every day outside the courts, and they're victims. And it's like me when it happened to me. It was like I was caught in the lights of a car. I was stunned. I was absolutely stunned. I couldn't believe what had actually happened to me. I had to pinch myself that it actually could happen. But it did happen, and it's happening to an awful lot of people. And we got to stop it.
It's happening everywhere.
Yeah, it's happening everywhere. It's happening in America, Ireland, England, Australia. And this is why you've got
Canada.
This is why you've got all.
It's happening everywhere, and I'm talking about everywhere. There isn't a country that isn't safe from it.
Can I just have a quick minute, guys? Darren, I've found a new theme for the show. When we reach 100 listeners, we're going to play a little tune. I'll only play this for a couple of seconds, but I just thought it was a good novelty. Thanks to everybody who's tuned in today.
Yeah.
Welcome back. Your dreams were your ticket out.
I'll have to find an appropriate one, but you get the idea.
Take a good time.
Yeah, listen, thanks, guys, for listening in tonight. But again, this goes out and will be on our website and other mediums for you to catch up with in a week. So, if you've enjoyed it and it's resonated with you, share it with your buddies, share it with your families. We've got to get up. We've got to get to it. It's as simple as that. We do
time for unity.
Absolutely.
Because we are our family.
Andy can teach us how to present our evidence, or all evidence or video evidence. That when we do these juries over Skype, we'd have video cams. I suppose if we've got 12 people in 12 countries on Skype, whether how do we share the video evidence to each other, or do we look at it beforehand and then we make our decisions? I mean, it's It's all down to technology, isn't
it?
Yeah,
my friend Bill, once we get to that stage, because I've not really been bothered, but he'll show us, I know how to use it, but he'll show us how to use it again. I'll teach you how to use it. You basically, you'll log into one place for your audio, which is Skype, and you log into another place for the video as well. But you can do the common law court. Let's say on a show, but not necessarily live, and then you'll get proper audio, proper visual, and you can YouTube it, Darren.
Yes, quite right. The other, with the logistic side of things, what I would say, on what the girls and Patrick touched on not so long ago, was that we all have different talents. It's very similar to the hemp plant in that the hemp plant, when it seeds, there are hundreds of different seeds in one flower. Out of those 100 seeds, the key to surviving whatever nature throws at it in the following season is within each of those seeds. An example would be, there'll be a seed there that's good for the drought. There'll be a seed there that's good for the mold. There'll be a seed there that's good for a rainy season. There'll be one that's good for the cold, one that's good for the hot. So within the plant itself, each and every seed contains everything that's required for it to survive the next generation for the season ahead. Now, people are very much similar in that we're not all the same, but each and one of us got a unique talent or a different talent which will ensure that justice will be done or things can be done. So I just put it out there now, right now. We need help in order to get this thing together logistically, technically, secure. We need people on the ground in different continents in order to take evidence of people, video or audio or otherwise, written, whatever evidence they've got, that needs to go and be sorted through. So it's a massive job logistically, but as a people, we've got everything, every single talent we need is out there listening right now.
That's right.
So get up, like we keep saying, get up and get involved. We're waiting for you guys. Come on.
It means get up and when we do the rallies, do them with us. When we go and join in forces, come up with creativity ideals that are positive. Because the only way we can do this the right way is positive action. Positive action will give positive change. We have to avoid all negative at all cost.
There can be no negativity, and it's got to be a people movement.
That's right. It's about the people and about our families. And families is a very delicate situation. And our children have to have something to look at. And if we're violent or we're negative about it, that's not showing good examples. There's already enough violence in this world. We have to do it together in a very peaceful manner.
Will not restore the rule of law by the gun. They've got all the guns. We've got to do it peacefully.
That's right.
And
integrity.
As Rosemary said, there's enough of violence in the world, and it's the Satanists that have caused all of this, and they want violence. We don't want violence. We want peace.
5 minutes.
Peacefully. Yes, exactly. Love one another, help one another. Help one another, and you'll get rewards for it. You will actually get rewards, and you'll be happy.
Love thy neighbor.
And you won't be bored. Love thy neighbor. God said it.
Well, guys, we've got 5 minutes to go. It's been an absolute privilege to have shared the broadcast with you all this evening. I'm sure the listeners have enjoyed. I mean, I'm having some fantastic feedback already. Ton of information gone out there again. Listen back to it. Get your pens and paper out. Follow the research, the information that's been provided through with our guests this evening. You take our word for it. You can feel it. You know it's there. And get up and help, because that's what's required now. Whereas we've all been isolated, frightened, scared. There's people out there, we're doing it. come and help, come with us, we need you. And the system is crumbling. So we need to have another one set in place, because whereas time's gone past, we the people have suffered when they've had to reset the book, so to speak. This time round is different. We can hold them to account, we can set up jewelleries, we can pass verdicts. These verdicts stand for time. They'll be enforced. It'll be the people's duty to enforce them. As Patrick quite rightly said, the police will be held to account, and if they don't do it, the people will do it.
Exactly. The people should do, but they've got to. Our army has got to grow, and then we'll be able to do everything. We'll be able to do everything, and we won't be oppressed anymore.
It's time.
So you won't.
It's time for the righteous to rise.
Exactly. We broke no laws, and these guys are breaking the law every day. They're committing high treason every day, up and down the country, here in England, America, Ireland, and they'll get away with it. They'll get away with it while the people are sitting back and leaving them at. It's pointless mourning. Do something about it.
Quite right. Nilo?
Yeah, I was going to ask whether, I'm happy if people feel they've got a need to speak to people like Patrick. I don't know whether Patrick would be willing to do some kind of like a surgery, to look, just to maybe give advice on a regular basis. I'd be happy to be on the show too.
Yeah, I'd be in for that. Some kind of online conference, yeah?
2 minutes.
Yeah. They can actually go into Facebook. Anyone can actually contact me if they want anything on the common law and join us. If they want to join us and help, we can put them in contact with people in your area, because I know a lot of people in Scotland, Wales, Ireland, America, Australia, and I can link you up with wherever. Just email me. My email address is Patrick, Patrick, Cullinane, Cullinane, at Tiscali, Tiscali.co.uk, and I will send you the information that you will need to start.
Excellent. Thank you, Patrick, and thank you, Nilo and Rosemary. We've got about 40 seconds to go, guys, and I'd just like to use that to thank you all again, and thank our listeners.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Steve, Neil, and Rosemary.
Absolutely. Now, Patrick, Andy will sort out my Skype details. You can hook me up with David, and we can all hook up together. And
yes.
With Rosemary over in America, we've got a little network going over there, and right. Things are looking good. So, again, thanks to all our listeners for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Should be a cracker.
God bless you all.
Thank you all, guys.
God bless.
Thank you, Darren and Andy. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you.